Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really big question, one that's at the heart of, well, everything. What actually makes a life feel meaningful?
You know, in our crazy, fast-paced world, it feels like we're all chasing something. But are we chasing the right thing? We're often told that the big goal, the finish line, is to just be happy. But what if that's not the whole story? What if there's a deeper, more solid path? And what if chasing happiness is, ironically, the very thing that's distracting us from what really counts?
And that brings us to a really key distinction, something explored in Emily Esfahani Smith's fantastic book, The Power of Meaning. Look at this comparison. Happiness. It's often a feeling, right? It's kind of fleeting. You get what you want, you feel good for a bit. It often takes from the world. But meaning? That's different. It's more of an enduring state. It's about giving back, about being part of something bigger than just you.
And hey, this isn't just some abstract philosophical idea. It has real-world consequences. We're actually seeing this strange paradox play out. Even in wealthy societies where people might report being happy, there are soaring rates of depression and despair. It's like we're facing a full-blown meaning crisis.
And you know, this isn't a new problem at all. It's a deep human question. Just think about this story from 1930. The philosopher Will Durant was confronted by a man who was literally planning to end his life. And this man asked him for just one reason not to. The fact that Durant struggled so much to answer, wow, that just highlights the tragic real-life consequences of a life that feels devoid of meaning.
Okay, so what's the solution? How do we build a life that feels meaningful? Well, thankfully, decades of research in both psychology and philosophy point to an answer. And it's not some single secret password. It's a framework, a practical guide built on 4 core pillars.
And those 4 pillars are belonging, purpose, storytelling, and transcendence. So let's dive into each one of these, shall we? We're going to break down how they work together to build a life that's not just happy, but truly significant.
All right, first up is pillar number 1, finding belonging. This one is, well, it's maybe the most fundamental of all. It taps right into our core human experience and the power of real connection.
So what is belonging, really? It's so much more than just being near people or having a bunch of friends on social media. It's about being in relationships where you're valued for exactly who you are, and where you value others just as much in return. It's about that true, authentic connection, not just being close by.
There's this amazing example on Tangier Island in Virginia. It's a small community where family graves are often placed right in the front yards. And that might sound a little strange at first, but it's this powerful, constant reminder of their deep roots, of a community that's so connected it literally includes both the living and the dead. That's belonging woven into the very fabric of life. At the end of the day, what Emily Esfahani Smith says here is so true. We all need to feel that we belong. It's just a core human need. Meaning is almost never found when we're all alone. It's found in our relationships with other people.
Okay, let's move on to the second pillar, which really builds on that foundation of connection. We're talking about living with purpose. And this is all about your contribution to the world.
So, purpose, it's your why. It's that stable, far-reaching goal that really drives you forward because it's about contributing something to the world. And the key thing here is that it's not about some grand save-the-world mission. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. It's simply about using your strengths to serve something bigger than yourself.
Let me give you an example. There's a zookeeper named Ashley Richmond. Now, to some people, her job might look like just feeding animals and cleaning up, but Ashley sees it so differently. She finds immense purpose in her work because she's not just feeding them, she's enriching their lives, making their environment better. That's her why.
And this is so important because it means purpose isn't some exclusive club. You can find it anywhere. You can find it in being a great parent, or making your office a little more cheerful, or, yeah, even making a giraffe's life a little more pleasant. It's all about how you frame your contribution.
All right, on to pillar number 3. This one's about how we make sense of our lives, creating the narrative of who we are. It's all about storytelling.
Think about it. We are all constantly telling ourselves a story about who we are and how we got here. It's this internal, evolving narrative that shapes how we see everything. Psychologists call this our narrative identity.
As the psychologist Jerome Bruner put it, we are all storytellers. We're all creating this composition that is our life. Now, what's so powerful about this is that we're the authors. We can't change the past, but we can change the story we tell about it.
And check this out.
The story you choose to tell yourself really, really matters. Psychologist Dan McAdams discovered that people who live meaningful lives tend to tell redemptive stories. That's where something bad happens, but it leads to something good, like growth or wisdom. On the flip side, people with lower meaning often tell contamination stories, where something good gets ruined by a bad outcome. The difference is huge.
And that brings us to our fourth and final pillar. This one takes us beyond ourselves, beyond our own little stories, and connects us to something way bigger. We're talking about transcendence. So what are we talking about here? Transcendence is those moments, those rare, awesome moments when you feel like you've risen above the everyday grind. Your sense of self just kind of fades into the background, and you feel connected to a higher reality. It's pure awe.
You know that feeling? Maybe you've been at a star party out in the desert, looking up at the light from galaxies that are millions of years old, and in that moment, you feel like this tiny, tiny fleck in a vast, incredible universe, but also deeply a part of it. That is transcendence.
Astronaut Edgar Mitchell talked about this, what they call the overview effect. Seeing the Earth from space, it just changes you. You get this instant global consciousness, this urge to do something to make things better. It's a profound, transcendent experience. But you don't have to go to space to feel it. It can happen through art, music, nature, anywhere you find awe.
So there you have it, the 4 pillars. What this really shows us is that meaning isn't something you find, like lost keys. Nope, it's something you build. You build it every single day, through connection, through contribution, and through contemplation.
So the real question for you, for all of us, is which pillar are you going to start building first? The journey to a meaningful life starts with just one small step. It's not about some giant leap. It's about choosing to build, day by day.